people. So, what sometimes a film's title doesn't give too much away, right? So we have Bull. Bull. Now, what do you think of when you hear bull? Now, we've had a film in the past about bull riding, makes sense, right? And especially with the spelling Bull, right? Otherwise, you might think it's about football, something like that. Maybe even a documentary on the making of a bull, right? Either versions. But no, this ain't that. This ain't that. And I tell you, people, that when you watch it, poof, yeah, you need to hey, you need to be able to cope with a lot. No squeamish people for this one, please. So, Bull is the new film from Paul Andrew Williams. Okay. It is he wrote it as well, by the way. He wrote and directed, which is always, what I mean? It's always a good look. I think it helps a lot of the time keep your vision true. But you need to know how to do both well. Not everyone can pull it off, right? But hey, gotta say, right? Williams, I think he managed to. It's produced by Lenora Darby, Sarah Gabriel, Mark Goldberg, Mark Lane, and Dominic Tague. Music is from Rafferty. Cinematography is Ben Chads and Vanessa White. It is edited by James Taylor. Production design, George Seaborn. Costume design, Olivia Crook. Makeup, Rachel McDonald. There are a lot of other talented people working on this, people. Now, our cast, right? Our cast is, well, Neil Maskell is Bull, right? Now, so yeah, as saying, in this case, Bull is an enforcer, right? I'm taking it's the nickname. His parents didn't christen him Bull, but yes, no, that's our main character. Okay, so he has a wife called Gemma. She's played by Lois Brabin Platt. Lois Brabin Platt. They have a son called Aidan, played by Henry Childs. Um, yeah, Bull's father-in-law is Norm, played by David Heyman. There's Diane, who's played by Laura McAlpine. Uh, then we have the squad, right? So Gary, he's played by Kevin Harvey. We have Mike, he's played by Aja Chibra. We have Marco, played by Jason Milligan. Ollie, who is played by Yazine Michenchin. Cheryl, who's played by Kelly Shirley. There's Sharon, played by Tasmin Althwaite. Beardy, who is played by David Nealist. Dave is played by Jay Simpson. Oh, you feel bad for Jay, for Dave. I mean, kind of, not really. Trendy, played by Jake Davis. Oh, and we shouldn't forget Colin, who's played by Mark Springer. So, yeah, they're our main players. There's a few others, but they're our main players. So, the gist of the film, right? the gist of the film is it's a little bit crazy. It's a little bit crazy, but so Bull, a former gang enforcer, returns to his former hood on a mission to find his son. Bull is a man possessed, and no wonder. His ex wife is a two-timing junkie. I think Bull would use a harsher word to describe her, but yeah, two-timing junkie. And his father in law, Norm, a psychopath gang boss whose firm has done Bull some serious wrongs. But Bull has a dark secret of his own, teased out throughout the film. Ooh, people. Now, it starts off, right? Starts off so it's nighttime. It is night. And we just see some guys digging a grave. Well, I say a grave, we just see people digging. I mean, you make the assumption that it must be because who's digging at that time of night if it isn't something shisty, you know? And especially three guys in the night, no torches, right? It might be, yeah, it may have been a work gig, but if it's a work gig, there'd be lights, there'd be safety jackets, there'd be all of this stuff. We don't see any of it. Don't see any of it. So you can only think, yo, something bad is here. Something bad is here, right? So yes, we see these three guys digging this thing, and there's smoke, right? Smoke coming out of this hole as they walk off. They walk off, and you're like, yo, what's happening here? What the fuck is happening here? So that's our opening. We then jump and we got a guy in a car. Guy gets in a car with another guy, and they're talking about something they need to do. Something they need to do is like gun. There's a gun, bullets in the gun, and they pull up to a garage. He walks out, and nothing's discreet. Ain't discreet. Just shoots a dude. The guy in the car's like, what the fuck? He walks past, drops the gun in the car window, and then walks off. And you're like, okay, this film ain't pulling any punches, nothing. It's coming at you hardcore, right? So this goes down, right, people? Now, so we have all of this, and yeah, as the film unrolls, right? We're seeing current shit. We're seeing flashbacks to the past. We're seeing these memories that are coming up to certain of our characters. It isn't. It's not. You know. It's not a completely linear thing, right? But I feel the jumping, it all makes sense, right? I didn't find a point in here where I was like, wait, uh, if that happened, doesn't that mean, or wait, oh, I thought that person was, I'm confused. No. It's all very clear as this plays out. So we have then, we're in a house at night, and there's a woman calling for a husband. We pan and we see a guy in a seat, right? In a seat. And as we look, we suddenly see that, yeah, there's tape round his head, round his body. Wife come down, screams. And as the camera pulls out, we see Bull sitting in a chair. And you're like, oh, I don't think this is good. I don't think this is good. And and then what goes down? Whew. Oh my gosh, people, no squeamish people. Now, when I say no squeamish, I wouldn't say that this scene is necessarily super bloody, but it's the significance of what goes down, right? And I think sometimes you, without the need of blood, you just see this sinister thing, and it's just like, fuck, boy, I want to be in that situation, man. I want to be there. You know what I mean? So yeah, so we see all of this, and now, um, yeah, we're with Norm, right? Because this is one of Norm. I think it's Norm's daughter, one of his daughters, and yeah, so it's just like, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck? Right? Well, no, sorry, we go with Gary first, right? Well, with Gary, this guy who gets a phone call. It's like, oh, you need to go and tell them what went down. So he has to go and say, listen, Ollie's been killed, and so was Cheryl. you know, so everyone is now on edge. Everyone's on edge. No one knows what is happening. People in this mobster business are suddenly coming into trouble, right? Now, it's one of them things, right? It's not a safe life necessarily, not a safe life, but I think there's definitely times when you probably think everything is golden. We haven't pissed off anyone. We haven't done anything crazy. So why is our people's dying, man? Why is our people's getting into trouble? And everything that happens, it does seem to, it kind of makes sense, right? And you're following the flow of all of this, right? The information that is there and all of that. You're like, okay, yeah. I buy this window in which we're seeing. So we see them scrambling, trying to get info. And as we are watching this, we then start with these flashbacks, right? We see these flashbacks of all these things that have happened. There is this really good kind of barbecue scene, which it kind of uses slow motion in parts. That's the first time we see it, and there's other times in film where they utilize this kind of slow motion. I guess there's probably a more technical term for what they're doing. Time dilation. No, that's more sci-fi, right? That's not a technical thing. But yeah, we're seeing all of this, and it's just that it makes the scene real interesting because I'm like people at a barbecue just standing around tossing burgers, talking, drinking beer, whatnot. Not super exciting necessarily, but you throw this element and you're like, okay, and when we see all everything like that, and straight from this scene, it does sow a seed of what maybe went down, right? What maybe went down. There's infidelity thrown around, there's denials, right? But you also see that Norm will do anything for his kid. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's one of our first big flashbacks. Right? We get a flashback to a slaughterhouse. And boy, oh boy. If someone asks for something, sometimes the best thing to do is like, yeah, okay. and then try and work out maybe a way out, right? But if you know the capability of someone, right, the lengths they are willing to go, say yeah. Always say yeah. I mean, oh my god. Allergies, people. I apologize. But yeah, so we have all of this go down, right? And it's really adding to the film because we are then just we're seeing all of this, right? We see the tension, then we're seeing these other moments of them working together and everything being a thing. So you're thinking to yourself, right, how does it get to a place where everything has just gone nuts, right? How's it get to that. What was the thing? And so we see some other stuff that you're like, oh, okay. Ooh, that's not good. That's definitely not good. Right. And yeah, as you know, more and more happen, right? We start to tick off people that were in a certain spot at a certain time. That happens as you would imagine, right? As you would imagine. But I think it is really, man, there's a grit to it, right? There's a nastiness, but it is all seeped in reality, right? Nothing is just that could never happen, right? Nothing is in a place where it's just too over the top or too ridiculous, too far fetched. Everything you believe, okay, yes, someone would come to that, or you could convince someone to do that because of this, so you are with it. And I think when you think of recent British gangster films, there was Red Rage, there's Original Gangster, which we talked about here, Nemesis. Like none of those really quite cut it, you know. I think one of the last really great British gangster films was Silent Night, right? Yeah, I feel there was maybe one more that we really enjoyed on the podcast, but I can't. Man, my memory stinks, people. But yeah, I think Silent Night may have been the last really good one, but I feel Bull now jumps into that conversation because god damn it, Williams has really come with this hard boiled, crazy revenge filled with a certain little extra sprinkled in there gangster flick, you know, showing this underbelly of this culture that's not great. Because I think we see, like, people see things like Goodfellas and Scarface and The Godfather, which does show a jolly side to it. Yes, it does go wrong in all of them films, but we see the great side of it, which seems to attract a lot of people. Some reason I don't even know, but you know, it ain't really that, right? And I think it's things like Bull that really make you go, yeah, it's not like it just will never go right. It will never go right, and eventually your time will come for sure. But all of this, like, yeah, happens. There is a fantastic shot of slow motion with with a gun blast that is just like, oh, that's nice, man. That's a nice little shot right there. So it is really interesting. You are there all the way through, and as more and more things happen, because sometimes you think, yo, that was a little harsh. Then you see a flashback and you're like, motherfucker, I had that coming. Damn. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I was with this. I was with it, man. And the ending, right? Because here's the thing: throughout the film, there is a fear attached. There is a fear attached, which you could be like, all right, is that fear on reputation alone? Right? Now, at the end, it all becomes a little clear. It all becomes a little clear. Also, like some of the things he's saying while doing these things, you know what I mean? And you're just like, oh, okay. Okay. Oh shit. And but you do then think, how? How the fuck did that happen? How did that happen? It gets, and it really then makes this end scene, in a certain spot even more like, oh, that's why. Oh shit. Because yeah, it's super crazy. And right, and with this thing that we find out at the very end, you're just like, I think if they had done it another way, it might have taken away from the stuff that we have seen. So it's dropped on you at just the right moment for you to be like, fuck, and still be like fully down with this film. So people, bull, bull, it is definitely one to watch, right? So listen, it you might not have got to see it today at the Prince Charles, but it is screening tomorrow, Sunday the 17th, the last day of the festival at 5:45. It's 5:45 in the afternoon, people. So it's at the Odeon Lux in the in the West End, Leicester Square. Right now, it is showing that it's sold out, but as I always say, returns, right? People will return tickets. So definitely check and see because this is a good film. It's a good film. If you can't get a ticket, you know, if all goes crazy, you can't get a ticket, never fear because you won't have too much longer to wait because it is hitting cinemas on the 5th of November, right? Friday, the 5th of November, people. So, yes, there you have it, a new entry in the British gangster lexicon. And this one, oh, yeah, is a bit like a bull in a china shop. So, yes, people, go get you some bull. Bull, not BAL bull. No, 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 no.